Unless you're completely abnormal, you will make mistakes when using Microsoft Word. Not necessarily glaringly obvious mistakes, but errors that you wish to undo. Now, all Microsoft Office packages have an undo facility and have had for a few versions, but they work slightly differently in each package. So if we take our access manual _extract, the undo icon is actually available on my quick access toolbar. If it's not on your quick access toolbar, then the little drop down will give it as an option, undo. Now, the fact that my undo arrow is grayed out, not the normal blue, means I cannot undo at the moment. And it says that when you hover, can't undo, because I've gone as far back as the start of the document. Now, once I start making changes, so if I were to put a typical example of a database, so I'm changing the text in this second paragraph here, they are all changes that I am making. Now, if I make too many changes, or I make the wrong changes, I can undo. I don't have to physically go and make the change back myself. I just undo the last step. And the quickest way to undo the last step is actually to use the keyboard shortcut Control Z. Very easy keyboard shortcut. The Z is right next to the left-hand control key, so very easy to get to as well, and achievable with one hand. So if I now do Control Z, and that takes back the previous step. Control Z again, takes back the step before that. Control Z again, takes back the step before that. Now, if you're having to want to do quite a lot of undos to take a lot of those steps away, then there is a slightly quicker way, which is to go up to the undo arrow, which is here, which if you click the blue arrow will take you one step backwards again. Now, I've gone so far back that I'm at the back of the document. Now, when you do that, you'll want to be able to redo. Now, all that redo does is redoes something that you've undone. Now, the redo icon is not here. I can add it from the quick access menu, and redo is an arrow pointing to the right. So every click there will redo the last step that I undid. So the redo can only undo things you've undone. It cannot repeat actions. It's not a repeat item, it's redo the undone item. So if I click all of those, you'll find that we get as far as we've undone. Having redone the undone options, what that then allows me to do is choose multiple undo steps. Next to here, there's a little drop down arrow, and that shows me everything that I've actually done. So I typed A, I typed space, I typed a little a, and I cleared it. Those are the actions that I've carried out, and each Control Z takes me back one of those steps. Now I can actually move the cursor all the way down and undo all 4 actions in one go. Now what you cannot do is pick a mix. I cannot choose that action and that action. When I undo, it has to be a chronological thing. All of them or none of them, or 3 of them, but not those 2 and that one. So I'm going to undo all 4 actions, and that takes me all the way back to the beginning of that paragraph. So we have undo, and it will undo the previous step. Now, how many steps it remembers is all of the steps since you opened the file. It even remembers steps after you've saved. So if you save the document because you're worried about a crash, you want to keep on top of it, you'll still be able to undo past that save point. But you won't be able to undo things you did the last time you had the file open. It's only allowing you to undo steps that you've carried out whilst you have the document open at the moment. So if, as we've previously seen, I inadvertently selected the whole document and inadvertently deleted the whole text, I could simply go to my little undo arrow and bring it all back, or Control Z, and it will bring it all back. So that's undo. Any step you carry out can be undone. This is a great feature. If you haven't already been using the undo feature in previous versions of Word, then you'll certainly pick up on its great usefulness. So undo, redo to bring things back. Keyboard shortcut for redo is Control Y. Not as easy to remember, and not so many people remember it. It's the undo option that everyone remembers of Control Z. Now the redo button can be quite clever. If, for example, let's come down to here again and I put a typical space, and then I go and undo what I've done, but then redo, you'll find that the cursor there has changed. The icon has changed to like a little circly thing. What that's doing is repeating. Now that only really works when you've just done something. So if I go and put a space in there, see how that's circular as opposed to the arrow, because it's now turned into a repeat option, and it's going to repeat what I've just done. So it repeats the space, repeat, 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 and my document is now ending up in a real mess. But I can undo. Each undo step takes me back until I'm happy with how far back I need to go. So you could use the undo facility as like an experimentation. You could try something out and think, no, I don't like that, let's undo. And that will come useful when we look at formatting, because you can try out different colours and just undo. Try out different sizes and just undo. So it is a good little habit to get into when you just want to go back. Rather than remembering the formatting you had or the colours that you had, you can just undo and it will take you back to where you were.